Hi Falcons, this is Mrs. Lamb, and today we're going to be doing lesson 14, finding solutions to inequalities in context. And lesson 14 begins on page 293 in your book. So if you want to go ahead and find that, that would be great. So solutions to equations and solutions to inequalities. On this first one, we want to solve negative x equals 10 and then find two solutions. Solve 2x equals negative 20 and find two solutions. I want you to go ahead and do that real quick and then come back. So negative x equals 10. To solve, this is a one step. You would divide by negative 1 and you would find out that x is equal to negative 10. So if it's equal at negative 10, but I want to find out two solutions that make negative x greater than 10. So I'm just drew a number line and put some numbers on both sides of negative 10 to figure out which way I need to go to find solutions. So I'm going to try negative 9. A negative 9 gives me a positive 9. Is 9 greater than 10? No, it's not. So that probably tells me I need to go the other direction. So let's try negative 11. A negative 11 is a positive 11, which is greater than 10. So 11 is a solution, negative 11 I'm sorry, and negative 12 would be a positive 12 is greater than 10, so negative 12 would be another solution. So it looks like my solutions would be anything that is less than negative 10, so I can name any number less than negative 10, and it would be a solution. So solve 2x equals negative 20, you're dividing by 2, and x equals negative 10. So again, it's right around negative 10, but I've got to figure out which way to go. I want 2x being greater than negative 20. So if I try negative 9, 2 times negative 9 would be negative 18, which is greater than negative 20, right? It's closer to 0. And if I try negative 11, 2 times negative 11 would be negative 22, which is not greater than negative 20. That's false. So it looks like I'm going to go this way. Let's try negative 8. 2 times negative 8 is negative 16, which is greater than negative 20. So my answers this time are anything greater than negative 10. So you could pick any number that is greater than negative 10 for that, and it would be a solution. So let's try 14.2. Earning money for soccer stuff. Andre has a summer job selling magazine subscriptions. He earns $25 per week plus $3 for every subscription he sells. Andre hopes to make at least enough money this week to buy a new pair of soccer cleats. We'll let N represent the number of magazine subscriptions Andre sells this week and write an expression for the amount of money he makes. So it says right up here, he earns $25 per week plus, so we have 25 plus $3 for every subscription. And they said let your subscriptions be N. So he's earning 3 for every one he sells. The least expensive pair of cleats Andre wants costs $68. So now we're going to write an equation and solve it. So in order to buy cleats that cost 68, how many subscriptions would he have to sell? So we're going to solve our two-step equation. Do that, please, and come back. You would subtract 25 on both sides, and we would have 3n equals 43. You would divide by 3, and n would be 43 thirds, or 14 1/3 subscriptions. Now, if Andre sold 16 this week, would he reach his goal? What do you think? If he needs to sell 14 1/3 to make $68, the more he sells, the more he's going to make, right? So yes, he would make his goal. The more he sells, the more he'll make. Right? So if he sells more than 14 1/3, he should make more than $68, in other words. So what are some other numbers of magazine subscriptions Andre could have sold to reach his goal? Okay, well, he could have sold 20. He could have sold 50, right? Any number larger than 14 1/3. So let's write an inequality expressing that Andre wants to make at least $68. So if we want to write that inequality, you would say the 3n plus 25 should be greater than or equal to 68, right? What he sells needs to be more than or equal to 68. So write an inequality to describe the number of subscriptions he must sell. Okay, we said he had to sell 14 1/3, so that means that X would have to be greater than, could he sell 1/3? No. So 14 wouldn't be enough, he wouldn't make enough money, so it's going to have to be greater than 15. Okay, Diego has budgeted $35 from his summer job earnings to buy shorts and socks for soccer. He needs 5 pair of socks and a pair of shorts. The socks cost different amounts in different stores. The shorts he wants cost $19.95. So we're going to let X represent the price of a pair of socks. It could be different every store you go to. We don't know. We're going to write an expression for the total cost of the socks and the shorts. So please do that and come back. Okay, he was going to buy 5 pair of socks at some price, we don't know what, and his pair of shorts were going to be $19.95. That would be our total cost, right? So now we want to write and solve an equation that says that Diego spent exactly $35. So you take your expression, this is what he spent, and we want it to be exactly or equal to 35. So go ahead and solve that and come back. We'll find out what X needs to equal. So you would start by subtracting the $19.95. We're going to take off the price of the shorts. And you would have 5X is equal to $15.05. And then divide by 5. And we find out that X is going to equal $3.01. So we want to list some other possible prices for the socks that would still allow Diego to stay within his budget. Well, if he can't spend more than $35, we can't spend more than $3.01 on a pair of socks, right? The more we spend on the socks, the more that price is going to go up. So we need to pick prices that would be below 35, so or $3.01, maybe $2.50 for the socks. Maybe $1.99 for the socks. Okay, anything that would be below that amount of 301. So if we were going to write an inequality to represent the amount Diego can spend, it has to be, his price needs to be less than or equal to $3.01. Okay, because he can't spend more. Let's try this granola bar problem. Kieran has $100 saved in a bank account. It doesn't earn interest. He asked Claire to help him figure out how much he could take out each month if he needs to have at least $25 in the account a year from now. So Claire wrote the inequality 12x negative 12x plus 100 is greater than 25, greater than or equal to, where x represents the amount Kieran takes out each month. What does negative 12x represent? Okay, please take a guess. Come back. All right, so the negative 12x, if this is the amount he takes out each month, represents what Kieran will take out in 1 year. That's why it's negative, because he's taking it out. So what would be some values of x that would work for Kieran? So again, you can just plug in some different numbers. What if x is 1? If we take negative 12 times 1, you get negative 12 plus 100 is going to be 88. That's greater than 25. So x equals 1 would work. What about 6? 6 times 12 would be a negative 72 plus 100. Is that greater than or equal to 25? Well, yes, it is. So x equals 6 would work as well. So we can express all the values that would work using either x has to be smaller than or equal to something or greater than or equal to something. Which one do you think we should use? Okay, hopefully you can reason this out. Kieran has to draw out less than a certain amount. So we're probably going to want Kieran must draw out less than a certain amount, or he's not going to have $25 left. So our numbers should probably be x is less than or equal to something, right? So we want to write the answer using notation, so we're going to have to solve. Let's make it equal. So let's do negative 12x plus 100 is greater than or equal to 25 and solve our inequality. We'll take away 100 and you got negative 12x is greater than or equal to negative 75 and divide by negative 12. And then you have to decide what is your x going to be. Let's just do it as equals right now. We're just solving equals instead of doing less than or equal to. So we find out that x has to be equal to 625. Now, we decided that it had to be less than, right? Because you could only draw out a certain amount. So our inequality then would be x is less than or equal to 625. Because if he draws out more than that certain amount, then he's not going to have $25 left. Here's another example of how to work that. A teacher wants to buy 9 boxes of granola bars for a school trip. Each box usually costs $7, but many grocery stores are having a sale this week. So different stores are selling different boxes of granola bars at different discounts. If X represents the dollar amount of the discount, then the amount the teacher will pay can be expressed as 9 times 7 minus X. In this expression, what does the quantity 7 minus X represent? Okay, well, the granola bars were $7, so we know they're having a sale, so 7 minus X is going to be the discounted price of the granolas. Now, the teacher has $36 to spend. So we have the equation 9 times 7 minus X equals 36. That would mean she solves all of it. So please solve this and come back when we know what X is. So you would begin by dividing by 9. Goes in evenly. 7 minus X is going to equal 4. And then you could get rid of the 7. Negative X would equal negative 3. And again, when there's nothing there, you know you're dividing by a negative 1. X is going to equal 3. So what does the solution mean? Is that when the discount is exactly $3, the teacher will pay $36 for the bars. Okay, sorry, that was a little bit hard probably for you to keep up with there. So you might want to pause for a moment and make sure you get this written down. But when the discount is exactly $3, the teacher will pay $36 for the bars. So the teacher doesn't have to spend all $36. What would be an inequality relating the 36 and 9 times 7 minus X for this representation? So we want the 9 times the discounted price to be less than or equal to 36, right? She doesn't have to spend it all, but she can spend up to $36. Now, the solution to this inequality must look like either x is greater than or equal to 3 or x is less than or equal to 3. Which do you think it is? Okay, go ahead and choose and then explain your reasoning. Okay, hopefully you decided that x would have to be greater than or equal to 3 because x is your discount. And the bigger discount you get, the less you're going to pay, right? The bigger the discount, the less you pay. So a discount higher than 3 means the teacher will pay less. All right. So today your practice is going to begin on page 297. Just going to write that here. Practice page 297, and you're going to do numbers 1 through 6. So have a good day, Falcons.